The first thing the cadets of the Galactic War Academy noticed about Cadet Mason Hale was that he wore no armor. Not light armor. Not training armor. Nothing. His fellow recruits, an assortment of scaled, furred, and chitin-covered beings from across the spiral arm, whispered in disbelief as the human strode into the combat drill arena wearing only a gray training shirt and loose black pants. "Is he insane?" hissed Veltor, a tall insectoid from the ice moons of Zrak. "He must be. This is a Deathworlder thing," murmured Kren, whose homeworld's gravity was so light his bones would shatter without exoskeletal reinforcement. The instructor, Commander Ryle, a grizzled veteran with 4 cybernetic limbs, raised a brow ridge. "Cadet Hale, you are aware that this drill involves live impact rounds, yes?" Mason grinned. "Yes, sir." "You are also aware," Ryle continued, "that standard Academy policy requires armor." "Yes, sir. I decline it." A ripple of shock passed through the bleachers. No one declined armor. Not unless they were trying to get killed or were already so rich they didn't care. The scenario was simple. Cross the simulated battlefield, retrieve the beacon, and return without being eliminated by automated turret fire and sparring drones. The problem? The battlefield was littered with obstacles, traps, and fast-moving enemy bots firing concussive plasma bolts. The alien cadets donned their armor, adjusting energy shields and scanning the environment for danger. Mason just cracked his knuckles. The signal blared. The drill began. The first plasma round zipped toward Mason's chest, and he sidestepped it so casually it looked like he'd been expecting it. 2 more shots followed. Mason dove behind a chunk of artificial rubble, rolled, and came up running. Veltor, weighed down by his heavy armor, trundled forward in slow, careful bursts. Mason, unencumbered, sprinted past him like a shadow, weaving between cover with a predator's agility. A turret locked on to him. Most cadets would raise their shield, take the hit, and keep moving. Mason didn't. He dropped flat to the ground, letting the bolt sizzle through the air above him, then sprang forward in a low crouch. "Is he dodging everything?" Kren asked, stunned. By the halfway mark, the alien cadets were battered and panting, armor shields flickering red. Mason? He wasn't even breathing hard. A drone lunged at him, claws snapping. Instead of blocking with armor plating, which he didn't have, Mason twisted inside its reach and drove his fist into the drone's sensor cluster. The machine dropped instantly. From the command platform, Commander Ryle narrowed his eyes. This wasn't luck. Mason wasn't just quick. He was reading the battlefield like a musician reading sheet music, anticipating threats before they arrived. When he reached the beacon, Mason didn't pause to catch his breath. He grabbed it, turned, and charged through the gauntlet again, moving even faster on the return trip. By the time the others limped to the finish, Mason had been standing at the endpoint for 2 full minutes, idly tossing the beacon from hand to hand. After the drill, the cadets crowded him in the locker room. Veltor clicked his mandibles. "Human. How? You should be dead. Or at least bleeding," Kren added. "Those turrets fire at speeds that punch through shielded exo-armor." Mason shrugged. "Where I come from, if something's coming at you, you move. Simple." "Simple?" Veltor's voice rose. "You moved faster than targeting systems can track." "Yeah," Mason said, as if it was obvious. "You guys train to withstand hits. I train to avoid them. On Earth, we don't exactly have force shields in everyday life. You learn to dodge, run, and use the environment. Keeps you alive." Commander Ryle entered, his cybernetic footfalls heavy. "Cadet Hale." "Yes, sir." "That was either reckless or brilliant. Possibly both. You understand that your methods won't work for every mission scenario." "Understood, sir. But I figure armor slows me down, makes me a bigger target. Without it, I move faster, think faster." Ryle stared at him for a long moment. "And you're not afraid of getting hurt?" Mason smiled faintly. "On Earth, everything tries to hurt you. You get used to it." News of the drill spread across the academy by nightfall. Recordings of Mason's run were replayed in every mess hall, annotated with freeze frames and incredulous commentary from alien analysts. The official reaction from most cadets was admiration mixed with horror. Unofficially, Mason had just become a living legend. And while most saw his feat as superhuman, Mason knew it wasn't magic. It was Earth. The constant hazards, the unpredictability of nature, the way humans grew up navigating a world that never cared if they survived. It all trained him for moments like this. He hadn't needed armor because he'd been wearing one his entire life. It was called being human,